It's Al Cole from CBS Radio, host of the syndicated talk show People of Distinction, cluing you in that in our 21st century, handing audio clip from our international guest list featuring my son, the fantastic Benji Cole, on People of Distinction.
Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio, welcoming you to another edition of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, peopleofdistinction.org, for more info, or you can always email me directly at benji@alcoleenterprises.com. And on the line with us today, we have Upasana Puranik. We'll be discussing her fantastic book, A Bat in the Attic, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or if you guys want to get everything that Upasana has to offer, listen, do yourself a favor and go directly to her personal site, Upasana Puranik 1.wixsite.com/Upasana Puranik. Now, I'm going to spell that out for you just to make sure there's no mistakes. So that's UPASANAPURANIK, the number 1.wixsite, WIXSITE.com / and her full name again, Upasana Puranik. And guys, listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Upasana here on the line because her book we're discussing, A Bat in the Attic, right there, you have an idea of the discussion we're going to be having today. And I don't know about you, but I have very vivid memories of growing up in every house that I lived in. We always had an attic, as I'm sure many of you are familiar with as well. And I was always caught between a really tough dichotomy, right? I was very interested in going up and exploring the attic, but at the same time, it was dark, it was gloomy, there's spider webs everywhere. I definitely had a big fear. And I'm so excited that we have Upasana here on the line because, listen, that is really where her story derived. I mean, she remembers being a young child and having that same desire to explore the attic. And it really led to this amazing book about an adventure of a young child exploring their attic. And listen, she's the expert, okay? She's written the book. She's going to be able to articulate all of the nuances within it much better than I ever could. So without further ado, we have Upasana here on the line. Upasana, first and foremost, thank you so much for being a guest with us today on People of Distinction. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me here, and it's great to be here.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we're very much looking forward to this, okay? And I know we have a lot of information to cover that we're really going to sit back and enjoy what you have to tell us. Now, before we jump into the book, let's hold off slightly. Start by telling our listening audience a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. Hello, my name is Upasana Puranik, and I'm currently going to become a sophomore at Cape Cod High School. And my passions include, for now, is reading and writing, and I also loved going to a library from a young age. But not only that, I enjoy playing the guitar, and I've been playing for 7 years since I was 8. And as you probably know, I wrote a children's book called Bat in the Attic, but I do have several other books I authored, including Songs for Everyone, which contains the first 10 songs I composed. It's available in the public libraries in the Santa Clara County. And I also love math, and it's my favorite subject at school. And I've competed in numerous math contests and have won national level. Well, actually, Bat in the Attic, or this book, means a lot to me, since part of the sales will be donated to a nonprofit organization that specializes in helping the homeless and low-income families in my area. I also volunteer there and help with tutoring families in math and cooking for the homeless and more.
Fantastic. Upasana, I just want to clarify. You said you were a sophomore in high school.
I'm going to become a sophomore this school year.
That is absolutely incredible. I mean, listen, you said, A, you've competed and won national competitions in math. You've written multiple books. I mean, girl, listen, you are on to something, okay? And that drive to have acquired that at such a young age is absolutely impressive. Listen, Upasana, we're going to have you back on the line, not to discuss your other books, but just to discuss the next accomplishment that you're looking to take on and tackle, because you are absolutely the full embodiment of a person of distinction. We're so glad to have you here on the line. Thank you so much for articulating that. Listen, without further ado, A Bat in the Attic. Tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, I actually first wrote Bat in the Attic in my second grade English class. And I think that's also where my passion for writing began. And of course, English class. I've always loved reading, but writing was a whole new, different area. And that's when I started writing and illustrating more and more books. Bat in the Attic was actually a real-life story, as you mentioned before, Mr. Cole. And I was around 5 to 6, I guess, when I first saw my grandmother go up her set of stairs to the attic. And there, I was on a trip to visit my grandparents' farmhouse. As curious as it was as a young child, I followed her, secret pathway up the attic, and what I was met with did scare my younger self a lot. And it may seem obvious in the book's title, but that's for the readers to find out.
And you said that you really initially were inspired to write this story in your second grade class. Now, that was clearly where the story originated. What inspired you to continue to push forward and actually publish the book for the public to partake in as well?
Actually, when I first read Bat in the Attic in second grade English class, it was in my notebook just sitting there. But as I mentioned before, I wrote another book called Songs for Everyone, and it's a compositions book. This was actually later on published in the libraries of Santa Clara County. And this inspired me and drove me forward to actually start creating more books. And you can say this is my career started. Since then, I recognized how Bat in the Attic was a good story to publish and write out. And that's when I started actually making Bat in the Attic a full-on idea and story instead of just something in my notebook.
Now, you've written multiple books. As you stated, you are competing in competitions. Is this something, in terms of being a creative writer, is this something that you view as a potential hobby of yours or a career path down the line?
Well, to be frank, around here, I consider everything a potential career path. And for now, as you said, I'm a sophomore and I'm still young. And I want to try out as everything I can for now. And being an author seems like a possible career path. But also, math is also another passion of mine. As I see out there, everything's a possible career path, depending how you view it and how much you want to pursue it.
We're talking about A Bat in the Attic, which is clearly a children's narrative. Now, are you interested in continuing to write for that age group, or would you like to tackle other genres?
I'm actually interested in writing for the age group, since I have a younger brother of my own, and he enjoys my stories a lot. So I want to continue giving books like that out to other people, so children my brother's age can enjoy it just as much as he did. But at the same time, I myself enjoy books a lot, and I want to write stories for people my age to enjoy too. So tackling books at the same time for both ages and genres seems like a magnificent idea. I actually wrote another book called Double Trouble, which is actually a set of short stories for an age group a little higher than Bat in the Attic. And it contains a set of short stories depicting moments of my brother and I causing trouble.
And now, are all of your books available through your personal website?
All of my books, I've linked a set to a platform where you can read it. And also, you can buy them from Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So please check it out.
Guys, there you have it. Listen, once again, here on the line with Upasana Puranik, we're discussing her fantastic book, A Bat in the Attic. As she just put it, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or directly through her personal site to gather more information about what she has in store. And that's Upasana Puranik, 1.wixsite.com/Upasana Puranik. You know, Upasana, again, you are beyond impressive, because nobody that I know when I was your age and I was in high school would be able to accomplish the feats that you have accomplished. So it's a remarkable journey that you've already been set out upon. And I know your parents are incredibly proud of what you've been able to accomplish thus far. Now, I'm curious, when it comes to Bat in the Attic and writing the book, what would you say was a highlight for you? Or if not a highlight, maybe something that surprised you that you weren't expecting prior to embarking upon the journey?
I guess the main part or the highlight of writing Bat in the Attic was probably reliving this adventure. So it's back in, it's bringing back up memories while I write the story and thinking of what had happened. So, and thinking back to how I was so scared to go up the attic, but now I easily go up the set of stairs and just look at the attic what it was before. The memories of the change brought back a big deal of emotions at the same time, experiences I had loved to go through.
Listen, I feel like that is really where the power in your book lies. It's such relatable content, even if people can't relate specifically to the idea of going into the attic, which I'm sure so many people will. But even for your readers that don't have an attic within their house, it's a similar thing to going into the basement at night, or really any fear that you have growing up. And that is something that, again, is so universal, something that is so relatable that whoever picks up your book will be able to really connect with. And I think that's the mark of a very good writer, is when you're able to really formulate that connection with your readers and do it in a very creative way. So thank you so much for that. Listen, Upasana, as we start to tie up this fantastic interview, I'd love having this platform. I'm an artist myself, and I'm in a different medium. I'm an actor and a filmmaker based here in Los Angeles, but art is art across the board, okay? There's, of course, the different mediums, but artists are all in the same boat in a certain degree. Now, I love having this platform to be able to pay it forward to other artists in a sense. Now, I know your journey is just beginning, but you've written multiple books and you've gotten these published. So you, of course, are an accomplished author. I'd love to take a moment to really pick your brain for any new writers out there listening in right now. What would be some advice that you could give them?
I would say my main advice is write from your heart or what you feel like you should want to write about. Because if you write about something you feel like catering towards others, it's not your writing, it's something they want. And if you want to show how you really feel as an author, then you should write from your heart, your feelings, and your experiences. And it just doesn't have to be your experiences. It could be your ideas, your imagination, and much more.
As if everything that we've discussed wasn't impressive enough, Upasana, articulate to our listening audience, because not only did you write this book, but you were actually wearing many hats along the journey. Name all the pieces that you helped construct when it came to this book.
I actually, not only writing it, the main book was an inspiration from my childhood, but I also actually illustrated, authored, wrote, and edited, and finally, first in the beginning, self-published it too.
Listen, I know you're all listening in and you are just as impressed as I am. This is such a fantastic book, but Upasana herself is such a fantastic person with so much to offer. And here's the scary part. She's only a sophomore in high school. This is just getting started. Her journey is just beginning. And guys, listen, if all of that isn't impressive enough, Upasana has already completed over 170 hours in volunteering and tutoring, for which she's received a Gold Presidential Award. I mean, the accomplishments continue to pile up. This is absolutely astounding. I'm telling you, Upasana is a force to be reckoned with. Make sure you do yourself a favor. This is a fantastic book for your children, but it's an even better gift for anybody else's. Head on over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, directly through her personal site, Upasana Puranik, 1.wixsite.com/Upasana Puranik, and pick up your copy of A Bat in the Attic. And while you're there, look into her 2 other books as well, and make sure you're checking back in frequently to see what she has coming up on the horizon, because this is an individual we're all going to need to contend with, okay? Her journey is just beginning, and it's such an amazingly bright, bright future. Upasana, listen, this has been such an honor. Thank you once again for being a guest with us today on People of Distinction.
Thank you.